Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Storm Collectibles Fighting EX layer. I don't know what this is. I mean, I know what it is. I've never had anything to do with this character outside of Street Fighter. So if you guys are into this particular source, then you guys can let me know. If you're only into him because of Street Fighter, you can let me know that too. I'm just curious. But this guy's a Street Fighter character for all intents and purposes, and I'm guessing that's why Storm made him. And he's a very interesting character. A lot of you asked me to review him, and so I thought I would. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Before I show you the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is a nice package from Storm. It's a small one. It almost looks like it could be a Storm Arena figure, and he's only just a little bit taller than them, so he's a very small one. But the nice package, a nice artwork there, big window on the front with a little bit of light on the top coming in. There you go, some more artwork, some posing options, and there you go. It's a relatively basic Storm Collectibles figure. It's coming in at about $70, which is still a pretty hefty price point. Let me show you the size though. Get that away. Decent packaging. There's the size. He's only a little bit bigger. Like, he is bigger, like almost a whole head, but that's still not that much. So 2570, 2570. I don't know. Normally it's easier to make the argument for Storm Collectibles given their size and number of accessories, but this guy's kind of light. About 17.7 centimeters. That's going to make him roughly, we'll call it 6 7/8. Here he is up against himself without his costume on. And you can see he's not a very large figure. So for $70, I don't know, but we'll see. Alright, so this guy is, shouldn't he be more black? Like, he probably looks dark on camera, but he's very gray for the black spots. I think he should be darker. I don't know why they did that. Maybe he's supposed to be gray in this particular version of him. I don't know. You guys can let me know if you know. But he's just basically a skeleton suit, and they did a good job with it for the most part. It's all sculpted, so that's really cool. All the white parts are sculpted in, and the paint job is pretty clean. The only real issue with the paint is his crotch area, where you can actually see brush strokes or something going on the gray parts, and when you move his legs, it cracks the white paint. So that's not good. But the rest of it is pretty clean. Everything looks pretty good. They even sculpted the zipper on the back of his costume. There you go, because he's like a Sentai type of character. And then the head sculpt is also, like, it's pretty darn good. He's a little bit flat. I know he's not supposed to be super bulky, but he's a little bit flat and narrow in the chest. But not bad. Like, he's pretty darn good looking. They did a good job not bricking him up like they do a lot of their figures. So I think it's pretty nice. It's a slender one. Anytime Storm does a slender figure, it's welcomed, if you ask me. But I think the scarf also is a little bit underwhelming. It doesn't articulate. Like, you can move it around his neck a little if you want to, but the knot doesn't have like a ball or anything in it. And it's quite small. There should be more scarf. Even on the box, you can see how much more noticeable the scarf is. I guess it's not the best photo, but you still can tell there's a little bit more meat here. You can see that. Like, it's just really, really wimpy, which is, it's just good enough. So I don't know, for $70, I'm gonna say this looks pretty good, but it's not great. I will give it a 7 out of 10. It's good enough, but definitely not anything special at all for the price point and for what you have here. Now, they did do a good job with the paint, so I will give them that. Now, as far as accessories go, you just get the alternate head, which does look really good, and you get some hands. I mean, it's a good amount of hands, but that's it. No effect parts of any kind. And so I'm going to just say 7 out of 10, and that's a super generous 7 out of 10. For this price point, I was expecting them to bring a little bit more heat, and they did not bring that heat, so that's a bummer. Okay, now, maybe he'll pose really well. He's pretty slender, why not? So we do have the typical Storm chest that's empty. Can he lean his head well? Yeah, he can, so that works nicely. You have that ball peg that goes all the way down into the sternum area and all the way up to the head. The head moving on top of the neck is minimal. That's typical Storm Collectibles fashion. But it does work pretty well for what is there and what you can expect from the company. So it's not the best thing ever, but it will work. And then for the shoulders, he does have those caps that float around in there, but there's no real point for him because the suit part, the main bodysuit here, comes all the way out. But you can move the arms around, so that's nice. It works pretty well, actually. I guess once you get them going, they serve a little bit of a purpose, so that's okay. That works pretty nicely. Bringing the arms up, just better than horizontal. It does look nice though, using that inner ball peg to raise that arm up a little bit more organically. I like that. I like that a whole bunch. They did a good job with that. And then you get your rotation, of course. So far, all the joints are nice and creamy. Bicep swivel is there, double jointed elbow. Not the best range ever, but definitely good enough, so that's okay. And then for your wrist, you get your ball hinge, and then this is a floating glove piece. For the abdomen, they did do a good job with the shoulders when you raise them up. That's nice. For the abdomen, he doesn't go back super far, but he goes back far enough. And if he had just a little bit more meat front to back, it would look a little bit nicer. But it does work. It works pretty well. They do have suit wrinkles sculpted in on the back here, but not so much anywhere else. Side to side is pretty darn good also. And of course, you get your rotation. And then down here, they did a pretty darn good job. He doesn't lean forward very far, but he does lean back and to the side nicely. And then of course, you get more rotation. That's binding. Is it going to get tighter or looser? It feels like it's going to end up tight. You're going to want to lube that ball. Luckily, you can get into it pretty easily there. Maybe even this way. Nope, from the front. Lube that lower ball. That seems like it's going to get tight. Alright, now for the hips, it's standard Storm hips, but you can see it's already starting. As soon as you start to put any pressure on this, it starts to crack that paint. And that's really, really unfortunate. Now, is that the worst thing in the world? I suppose not, until it starts flaking, but I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. But he does get full-on splits, so that's nice. But here's where it really becomes a problem. When you start to go like this, you have to stretch that diaper, and you will see that becoming worse and worse. Now luckily he does get decent range with only minimal damage to that paint job. He's already up to horizontal. You could go farther. I wouldn't recommend it because you could start to see flaking, and you do get the legs going back. It's not doing it everywhere, so maybe you might get one that's better. Maybe it's just this front part, maybe it's just mine. There's no way for me to say, but it's not doing it too much down here. I don't even think it's doing it. Maybe just the tiniest little bit at the bottom. Yeah, it is doing it. And I couldn't really tell until I zoomed in with the camera. But just a touch. So, I don't know. Your mileage may vary. Just be careful with that. But you do get good range, and you probably want to lube up those hips as well. Thigh swivel is in there. Not the best, but it'll work. And then for the knee, double jointed knee. Pretty good range. Not the best, again. I don't know why Storm seems to limit themselves for no reason. And then taking the ankles back, you get decent range going back. Going forward, it's maybe better than some Storm figures, but it's still pretty minimal. Ankle rocker is steep, but it's in there. Then the toe hinge is there, but not particularly good. You see the big chunk missing. Yeah, it's just good enough. If you really wanted SKULLOMANIA, then you could definitely make the case to want this. But otherwise, I'll give it a 7 for articulation. It's just fine. And now it's time for the final verdict. It's like I just said, if you really want SKULLOMANIA, it's not gonna kill you. It's fine. It looks generally pretty good. If you wanted to repaint him to be black, you could do that for sure instead of gray, but you don't have to, of course. And maybe you shouldn't even have that. I thought he was jet black, but whatever. Yeah, it's not an impressive release. Only in that they sculpted and painted the white pretty nicely, I guess. But otherwise, it's just fine. It is just fine. If you are into this character, go ahead and pick it up. You'll be happy. I don't think you're going to get another figure of him anytime soon, unless it's another one from Storm. And I guess that's it. So I'll give it an overall rating of 7. It's expensive for what it is, but what's there isn't terrible. And I'm guessing because of the uniqueness of the character, people will be okay with it, but not thrilled. That's my guess. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day. I'm still getting back from being sick, so not quite, but we'll get back to that soon. And I do have thousands of videos already on the channel for the times I can't do that. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.